There is a very thin, almost invisible line where automotive engineering ends and pure, unadulterated lunacy begins. Most manufacturers are terrified of that line. They build quiet, sensible, battery-powered appliances that whisper down the highway and apologize for existing. But what happens when you take one of the most aggressive, naturally aspirated supercars ever created, hand it over to the most controversial tuning house on the planet, and tell them to completely lose their minds? You get an angry, carbon fiber-clad stealth bomber that actively despises the laws of physics and common sense. Later in this video, I am going to reveal the single, terrifying reason why this machine represents the absolute point of no return for the internal combustion engine. Welcome back to Jack Auto Expert. Today, we are staring down the barrel of the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ Carbonado GTS. To call this just a car is an insult. This is a rolling monument to excess, an apocalyptic celebration of gasoline, fire, and noise. The standard Aventador SVJ was already an apex predator, a track-focused weapon that terrified anyone brave enough to disable the traction control. But for the engineers at Mansory, that was merely a blank canvas. The Carbonado GTS exists for a completely different demographic. It is built for the absolute top tier of buyers who look at a $500,000 hypercar and think it simply is not wild enough. It is a massive, unapologetic middle finger to the electric future. Let us walk up to the front, because the sheer presence of the Carbonado GTS is enough to stop traffic and silence a crowded street. The entire body has been completely reskinned in a specialized stealth weave carbon fiber. Every single panel is meticulously hand-laid woven carbon, absorbing the light rather than reflecting it, giving the vehicle the ominous, jagged appearance of a radar-evading fighter jet. The front fascia has been radically redesigned with a deeply aggressive splitter that looks capable of slicing the air into ribbons. The angular intakes have been widened, creating massive jaws that feed cold air directly into the radiators. Bespoke venting carved sharply into the hood directs airflow over the windshield, keeping the nose violently pinned to the tarmac. Transitioning down the side profile, the Carbonado GTS somehow manages to look like it is breaking the speed limit while parked completely still. The proportions are classic flagship Lamborghini, an incredibly low, wedged silhouette that sharply cuts through the atmosphere. But the Mansory additions turn the aggression dial until it simply snaps off. The side skirts are dramatically extended, featuring aerodynamic winglets that channel turbulent air away from the massive rear wheels. Anchoring this stance are ultra-lightweight, forged alloy center-lock wheels, wrapped in tires so wide they look stolen from a Le Mans prototype. Every crease and geometric angle on the side of this car serves a distinct aerodynamic purpose, coming together to create an intoxicating visual drama. The rear of the Carbonado GTS truly defies belief. If the front is a fighter jet, the rear is a rocket thruster. Dominating the view is a colossal, bespoke carbon fiber wing that works in tandem with Lamborghini's active aerodynamics system. Beneath it lies an entirely reworked engine cover, featuring aggressive louvers that let you peek into the fiery heart of the beast. The lower rear section is an exercise in aerodynamic violence. Utilizing a diffuser so deep and aggressively finned, it looks capable of generating its own gravitational pull. Nestled in the center of this carbon fiber madness is a custom exhaust system that protrudes like heavy artillery, promising an acoustic experience that will rattle the windows of every building you pass. Pulling up on the scissor doors, which rise with that signature mechanical fluidity, you step out of the outside world and drop down into the cockpit. You do not sit in the Carbonado GTS, you wear it. Mansory has taken the already intense cabin and elevated it to a level of bespoke luxury that feels entirely focused on driving. Almost every surface that is not structural carbon fiber is swathed in the highest grade Alcantara and premium leather. The heavily bolstered carbon fiber bucket seats clamp around your ribs, holding you violently in place. They are uncompromising, designed to transmit every single vibration of the rigid chassis directly into your spine. The driving environment is completely driver-centric, offering a stark contrast to modern screen-heavy vehicles. The core of the experience remains brilliantly analog and physical. The center console is a cascading cliff face of actual buttons and tactile toggle switches that feels exactly like the command console of an Apache helicopter. The crown jewel of the interior remains the start button, hidden beneath a flip-up red missile launch cover. Flipping that cover and pressing the button is a theatrical prelude to the mechanical violence you are about to unleash. Rear visibility is virtually non-existent, but the cabin is tight, loud, intimidating, and absolutely perfect for its intended mission. When you actually press that start button, you awaken the undisputed soul of the Carbonado GTS, a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 engine. Mansory was not satisfied with the stock power, so through extensive internal modifications, optimized breathing, and an unrestricted exhaust system, they pushed the output well north of 800 horsepower. When this engine fires up, it does not just hum, it detonates. It barks into life with a cold, mechanical ferocity that sends an involuntary shiver down your arms. This is a non-electric, unassisted, pure combustion masterpiece, and it revs with a razor-sharp snappiness that only a massive, naturally aspirated engine can achieve. Out on the road, the numbers are terrifying. 0 to 60 is obliterated in under 2.8 seconds, but the numbers do not begin to capture the actual feeling of deploying that power. Merging onto a highway in this car is an exercise in restraint, because half throttle in second gear permanently alters your perception of speed. When you pin the accelerator to the floorboards, the acceleration is not a smooth, electric surge. It is a brutal, relentless, explosive rush toward an ear-splitting 9,000 RPM red line. The sound is a glorious, high-pitched mechanical symphony that bounces off tunnel walls and echoes across open canyons with absolute fury. The Carbonado GTS utilizes Lamborghini's infamous single-clutch automated manual transmission. In a world of seamless dual-clutch gearboxes, this transmission feels primitive, but that is exactly what makes it so incredible. When you shift at full throttle in Corsa mode, the gearbox slams into the next gear with a concussive thud that kicks you right in the back of the head. It is violently aggressive, demanding your full attention. The heavy, hydraulically assisted steering provides a constant stream of information from the front tires directly to your fingertips, while the pushrod suspension allows the car to corner flat, generating lateral grip that will physically hurt your neck before the tires lose traction. But to own a masterpiece like the Carbonado GTS, you have to accept some massive compromises. We are talking about a vehicle that easily sails past the $1 million mark. Positioned against an obvious rival like the Ferrari SF90 Stradale, the Ferrari is objectively faster, easier to daily drive, and utilizes hybrid technology. The Ferrari is the future, while this Lamborghini is the past. The ultimate weakness of the Carbonado GTS is its complete impracticality. It is too wide for city streets. The front splitter scrapes on everything. The suspension punishes your lower back, and it requires constant hypervigilance just to park. Yet, that brings me right back to the question I posed at the beginning. Why does this car represent the absolute point of no return? Because the automotive industry has simply moved on. Strict regulations and the pursuit of digital perfection mean that no one is ever going to build a naturally aspirated, single-clutch, unassisted V12 hypercar quite like this ever again. The Carbonado GTS is the definitive send-off to a loud, obnoxious, and utterly captivating era of automotive engineering. It is a deeply flawed, terrifyingly fast piece of art, and it is a masterpiece because of those flaws. It makes you feel alive in a way that no electric motor ever could. If you were handed the keys to this exact car, with a full tank of gas and an open highway, where is the first place you would take it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the wildest machines on the planet, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Welcome to Jack Auto Expert, and I will see you in the next review.